Well, hello everyone. Welcome to an exciting Division 2 matchup. My name is Atomo and I'm joined as always by my co-caster Calamity. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Yeah, it is kind of already dark this time of year.
Mm.
Gets dark early. It makes me tired and makes it easy for you to sleep in. So
It,
but
it
despite all of that,
it doesn't
yeah.
make it easy for me to sleep in at all. It gets bright very early.
Really?
Yeah.
It still gets bright early?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I guess where I live, it's still kind of it's getting days are getting shorter and shorter. So, but apparently up in Austria, things are weird and different.
Sunrise was at 7 a.m.
Yeah, that's kind of late.
Is it?
But well, compared to the summer, yeah, when it was like 4 in the morning or 4:30 or something.
I've never seen the sun get up at 4:30.
But I think when I was in Germany, it did. Talk about a massive detour for the opening of a video, but. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, our matchup today is two longtime Division Two rivals in MTheBassman and TallImpala. Yeah, and Calamity, the first 2 weeks, not too bad for either of them. Both of them sitting very high up in the table as we take a look at their stats.
Yeah, both of them winning their first two matches. I also have just looked up the earliest the sun gets up is around 6 a.m., a bit before 6 a.m., somewhere between 5:30 and 6 a.m. But regardless, both of them, yeah, winning their first 2 weeks. Both of them actually not getting that many aces as I look at the stats here.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting. If you look at Tall Impala with his best game of 24, 9, 4, 3, and apparently like pretty much none of those were aces, considering he's only got 3. But anyway, it's not the most important stats. They've both got 6 points, and that's what matters.
Yeah, definitely, especially in a very tight competition with lots of promotion fights to come. They're looking for a win anywhere they can get it. And this is probably a week where, I don't know, you think they're happy to face off against each other on a world map? Lakes of the World by Alok, average score of about 12,000, Calamity.
Well, I don't know really. I mean, Baseman's probably happy about it. I'm not sure about
Mm,
Tall. Um, but we'll see during the game. I think Toll has had in the past some not so great world maps. I think if we look back at Dams of the World, he had a pretty bad performance in that. So maybe that doesn't bode too well for this matchup against Baseman.
I see. Yeah, well, this is might be the map to face off on your rival here on the world map. Pretty even. Not a whole lot of practice you can put into that. So pretty much your skill is your skill. And Ace is a little bit easier to come by. So hopefully they'll give that stat a boost here today. Yeah, let's just jump right in then to round number one. And Japan.
Yep.
So, oh, yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, this is something you know all too well. Tell me, where
Mm-hmm.
are we exactly?
Rural Japan. That's all. That's where we are. Yeah, that's about all you can tell until you see something else.
Well, you have seen
Geographically speaking,
water.
we're near the coast because that's where most of the flat farmland is along the coast.
Mm.
But besides that, not much.
Although usually if you've got a lake near the coast, that's not really something you have too often, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty rare. Japan actually amazingly doesn't have very many lakes. There are lots of like artificial ones because they built dams, but
Mm.
it's not really a nation of lakes because it's just a small mountain valleys that all are rivers that flow out to the deltas. So,
Mm.
and we have seen the Nanhin Expressway, something like that. The 9. There we go. Izumo. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Baseman going onto the map.
Yeah, way north.
Probably looking for the 9, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah. And oh, we have the airport as well. I didn't see that.
Yep.
That'll be very nice.
I think Izumo should be big enough to find it on a map either way, shouldn't it?
Yes, it should be. It's a pretty major city. The south, there we go.
There's the 9. There's Izumo. Yep.
And Tall has an area code, which he, remembering from his Japanese week, is in that kind of Chukoku area, which isn't wrong. And there you go. He has the Izumo Airport and the 9, so he's got the information as well. Lake to our east.
I don't think he actually has the 9. It just said on a tall sign, it just said Izumo Airport and the 431.
I thought underneath it said the Kokudo 9. So in the meantime, Bassman will get an ace, finding that nice little cul-de-sac with no problem. There we go. Tall still got a minute to get his. The loop in the road will be very helpful. And then a sharp turn to the west. And then back to the north. So that's a pretty distinctive road you're looking for.
He's not quite sure yet.
Yeah. I mean, it is a world map, so he's probably still close enough. But he hasn't quite pinpointed a location. 20 seconds still left, though. I don't think he's realized he's right on the edge of the water.
Yeah.
That looks a little better.
He's got 3 more seconds.
Is he going to move?
Nope.
Always the question, will he, won't we? No, he won't, and it's just too far. 1 point dropped. So we can see right here, Clemmy, this is why he doesn't have too many aces. Just not quite within range, dropping 1 point. But hopefully in the long run of things, it won't make that big of a difference, Calamity.
Yeah, it might do if he 5Ks all of the other rounds. But apart from that 1 point is probably not going to make the difference most of the time. And yeah, but I wouldn't really call it, maybe a bit of a weird mistake. Kind of tells me that he wasn't really sure about the location, because if he was sure, then he would have, it was easy to pinpoint because you just look at the road direction and it's obvious that the place he put it at is wrong. But if you're not sure about the place entirely, then you can kind of explain that as maybe somewhere around here, and maybe not too focused on some of those details.
Yeah, he definitely didn't see as good of signs as MTheBassman, so that might have been a little bit of hesitation there in his last second adjustments, but didn't cost him too much, fortunately, as we get into round number 2. And Turkey. Beautiful sign right by the start.
Antalya on it as well.
Yeah. That gives you the... That's also a state or province, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So not just the city. But I'll give you the general area where we are.
Also another instance of a lake in quotation marks.
More of a semi-closed inlet or something.
Or the coast.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of...
Well, where MTheBassman has it says lake on the map, so...
I think it doesn't say lake, it says lagoon, but...
Well, it means lake. Obviously, they're not using English in Turkey. But...
Well, lagoon is an English word.
Yeah, but it also means lake in other languages, so that's a fun...
Does it?
Challenge. Yeah.
Okay.
I think lagoon is just shallow lake, right?
Something a lagoon is a shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water by a narrow landform. It's not really...
MTheBassman's really moving.
It's not really got anything to do with a lake. It just shares some of its features.
Well, very fast for MTheBassman. Pinpointed it really quickly. I actually think that Tall so far has seen some better signs, but it just seems like MTheBassman was able to suss out where he was given what he had.
Well, Bassman has seen the sign that told him he's 7 or was it 3 kilometers? I don't remember, away from Demre, which is more than you need. Well, everything you need pretty much. I don't know if Tall's seen that.
Yeah, Tall saw it. I didn't realize Bassman saw it.
Yeah,
that was my thing. But there we go. That might even be the coastal area's name. I think it might. Definitely started with a B. So.
No, it just said Antalya.
No, after that there was.
Yeah, it said Antalya City.
Oh, okay. Apparently, you've been brushing up on your Turkish.
Yeah. I mean, not something that's happened recently, but yes.
Okay.
The more important
Uh,
things. For Geoguessr, of course.
yeah, yeah. Learning those geographic words definitely help out.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that Tall. If you say he has seen that sign that told him the distance to
Mm-hmm.
Dimmer and I think it was Mogur or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
that he's not looking for those. Um,
Yeah, it said it was like I thought it says like 7, but you said maybe 3 or
yeah, it
something
was a short
kilometers away. But
distance for sure.
yeah, very short. And there's the exit name for the town.
Yeah,
He's really thinking we're inland.
yeah, and
Again, maybe being deceived a bit by the theme of the map.
he's now moving really far away from Antalya.
Yeah. Again,
Dimmer
not
is
really sure.
down there. He's gone right past it.
Mm,
Yeah, this is gonna be
mm,
a bigger point lost in round 1 for Tall.
yeah, not his best day at all. There it is, way down there. 4,791 to MTheBassman's second ace. So that does put him out of tie range with that calamity. And yeah, not the best 2 rounds to start with Tall. Not bad scores, but really lacking confidence in his locations.
Yeah, round 1 was kind of a smaller mistake. This one was sort of a bigger mistake, and I'm not just going by the points lost, but also by the kind of the mistake itself, where he just
Mm,
saw a sign with distances and he just completely ignored it. Just kept the spin. And you kind of saw that at the end there because he wasn't looking at Antalya anymore. So he kind of realized, okay, it's not Antalya. At which
mm,
point, maybe he had already forgotten about the sign. But still,
perhaps, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can pull it back here in round number 3. And we are in the Middle East
Hmm.
somewhere. The beautiful kind of smoggy camera is usually a good clue.
Yeah, and for those of you who remember watching the Formula G UAE feature race, you might recognize this area.
Ah, this is exactly as that this little shop here that Tall's got that looked awful familiar.
Yep.
We are in the UAE.
It's not
Plenty of flags as well.
Yeah, it's not quite the same place. It's about, I think, like 10 kilometers down the road or something, but the area looks
Mm,
pretty much the same. So,
mm.
and I'm pretty. Basement definitely did play the UAE seed. I think Tall must have as well, although I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, he did miss a few weeks, but yeah,
Yeah.
both of these competitors in Formula G, so this might be a bit of deja vu. So 2 of the 3 rounds are countries they have played within the last month. So definitely benefiting Bassman here, getting 2 aces, looking to probably get a third.
Let's see where he puts his pin. Sort of in the right general region. A bit too far south, but not too bad. Wait, did Tall just see a road number there? It felt a bit
I
like
think
it
he
on.
did. Yes, a little bit in the distance. He'll scoot up so he can read it as well as us. It looks like the 18.
Yeah. And for those of you who remember the UAE race, the 18
Mm.
is not really the number that they're currently on.
Yeah. And it looks like Bassman does remember that because
Yeah.
he goes right to the 11, and that really screwed him over.
Yeah, I
In
think we actually watched Basement in this round
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I'm remembering it now. Yeah, he kept looking for the 18 and messed it up so bad it stuck in his memory. He's not going to make that mistake twice,
Mm.
and really gets it here. But Tall not too far behind. His memory's
Oh.
being jogged as well, along with some distances and of course the border crossing with Oman.
Basement went back to the 18. Go back up there, Basement. Yeah, there we go.
Not 2 times in a row.
Much better.
There we go.
Tall's pretty much got the right area as well.
Just under a minute to go now, and both of them looking for that little curve. The beautiful lake that's to our west looks quite large on the map, but I think you'd be a little hard pressed to find it in real life. An ace for MTheBassman, of course, as he's really flying through these, and of course an ace for Tall as well. Finally, he gets one of his own, Calamity.
Yeah, we'll hopefully give him confidence back a bit. But he's still 210 points behind. Still not in draw range. And you never know with a world map. Sometimes even dropping 200 points is also enough to put you out of bonus point range. So even just 200 points lost could be a terrible week for him.
Yeah, if everybody's getting 25s and 24-9, 8, he's already in the 24-7, so it could be a little rough for him. And we'll jump into round number 4 and see how things can go from here. And our first Southeast Asian location.
Does Japan not count as Southeast Asia?
No, Japan is definitely not Southeast Asia.
Okay.
If anything, it's just Asia.
No. I mean, it's got to have some cardinal direction to it.
Oh. Well, I think in the old school you'd call it the Far East, right? Far East Asia, because Turkey is technically Asia, right? So.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kuala Lumpur. So we are in Malaysia. MTheBassman, as well as TallImpala seen a sign like that. Language also pretty clear. Can be a bit confusing with Indonesian, but
yeah, sometimes, especially if you just see some advertisement signs and stuff like that, it can be a bit confusing. As soon as you normally see road signs, it's a lot easier to tell the two apart.
Oh, and Tall just jumped past the beauty of one. There we go.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, and those city names and numbers would be very helpful.
I'm assuming Tall either already saw Serenda on a sign, or he just went to the first lake he found along that road and was like, oh, let's see, maybe this is the right one.
Yeah. Well, he's seen a couple city names, some distances, as well as knowing we're by a lake will help him figure out this location. Now, Tall has been a little bit, not Tall, MTheBassman, sorry, has been a little bit misled by the E25 he had on his. He's at this intersection, and he knows he's not on that road yet, but he has put his pin there. Looks like he's going to get on and see if he can figure out what the exit is. Oh, and the sign disappeared on him. How about that? Gotta love that.
In the meantime, Tall getting an ace. No problem for him. Bassman's struggling a bit here in Malaysia. There's one more sign for him there.
If it doesn't disappear, there we go. The one. The Renda will help. But he's got to. I don't think he hasn't seen distances.
Yep.
Which is going to be a little bit confusing for him. He's going to pick a lake in the middle of a...
There's a couple lakes there.
Park. Yeah. I don't think we're in the middle of a forest.
No, but the ones up there to the northeast look like lakes. That could be the right one. They aren't, but they at least look a bit better.
Yeah. And with only 20 seconds left, he's... Oh, I totally missed... Talls?
I did say he got an ace, but
I thought you meant like he's just getting one because he's gonna get the location.
No, I meant he got one because he clicked guess and got 5,000 points.
There we go. Yeah. As Bassman will drop it slightly. 4,978 points for him, an ace for Tall, as Calamity mentioned a while ago. And yeah, pulls it a little bit closer, but still has a bit more to do in the final round, Calamity.
Yeah, I think it's now below 200 points, but again, not too big of a difference. I think generally in any sort of world map, especially in a themed one like this one, you're either going to at most drop 20, 30 points like Bassman did here, or you're going to drop a lot more than just 200. So I think those few points made up here won't really matter for Tall. Either way, whether he wins it or not in the end.
We'll see as we get into the final round after you get a sneak preview. Yeah, 19,978 for Bassman, 19,790 for Tall, and interesting signs.
That looks actually interesting what Tall's looking at there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I couldn't quite read it because it was like metal sign against rock, which was a bit weird.
And there's a sign for
But
Bassman.
we are in Malaysia again.
Yeah, and we're relatively close to Kuala Lumpur again. 67 kilometers this time.
Yeah. Those road signs in Malaysia are very nice. At least they give you the distances.
Kuala Lipis, I think it was, in the other direction.
Yeah, they are on opposite sides of those bollards, right? If you're going north, you see one city. If you're going south, you see a different. So if you see those in Malaysia, do stop, turn around, check out both sides.
Yeah.
Good information there.
The good thing generally is in Malaysia, if you move a kilometer further and go and find another one of these bollards, or 2-3 kilometers, usually the cities on it stay the same and just the distances change. Unlike in Cambodia, where they just put a random city on it each time.
Yep. Which it might be helpful in Cambodia because it's hard enough to find any city.
True.
If you can't find the first one, maybe you get the second one.
Yeah.
But there we go, the 55.
Yeah.
But it looks like Bassman's going to get the location as well, so it doesn't appear that Tall's going to pull this one back.
Yeah, he's got the smaller city on his sign, Kuala Kubu Baru, on his map, right next to where his pin is, just northeast of it. But it doesn't seem like he spotted it.
Yeah. He's on the 55. There we go. That's where Bassman is guessing. Good clues.
Yep.
Still have over a minute to go. Pinpointing be a little bit tricky.
I wonder what Bassman's doing.
I don't know. He thinks just reconfirming his choice of lake there, and an ace for Tall in the meantime. 24-790. So a total after another ace in the last round. Yep. So yeah, dropping 100 and 900.
Try again.
No, 210 points.
There you go. Yeah, so as long as Bassman doesn't move his pin to anywhere else, he's got the win in the bag.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't do that.
Yeah, and that's a big as long because he's not entirely confident with it, but I think with 30 more seconds or so, he's gonna gain that confidence.
I would hope so. I mean, he's not in the right location, but he's close enough.
Yeah, I think he is close enough. And I think he knows he's not in the right location, but he's... Oh. Now,
don't do it.
2, 1...
All right, that'll do.
Only 7 points. So he doesn't quite get it in the end, but still it is good enough for a very nice score and a win for him, and a big win against a promotion rival. 24-971 for MTheBassman on this world map Calamity, taking out TallImpala. Yeah, really interesting round. Both of them definitely showing a little bit of weakness in their pinpointing, but they're at least getting the right roads and information quite quickly. Actually, some of the rounds, MTheBassman taking less than half the time.
Yeah, we've seen some sketchy pinpointing from both of them here for sure. But yeah, in the end, both of them pretty close to a perfect game. Tall lost his points early, Bassman lost them late. Maybe Bassman just play a couple of practice games for Malaysia, and then he's good to go. Bit unfortunate there. It could have been a perfect game actually for him. I think the last 2 rounds were actually probably even the 2 easiest, except maybe for Turkey, which might have been easier if you found them pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like they had a lot of good signs, and he took longer to not pinpoint them than he took to pinpoint other rounds that had very sparse information, but he maybe just got lucky in spotting something on his screen quite quickly. But yeah, a pretty good, interesting spread of locations here, as we can kind of see on the map, all of them in kind of the eastern part of the world. But yeah, a good selection of choices in Asia, which is really nice to see. No European guesses for this one. Made them work for it for that. Yeah, well, next week we are in a quite little country in the far north in Iceland, and we will see you all there to see how they can handle that country, which is quite a challenge. Take care.
Bye.